Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round two of our league tournament that happened at Die Hard Games on April 17th, 2025. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format everyone wants. Destined Rivals pre-releases start Saturday, May 17th at 1 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games. Go see more info in this video's description and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop such as league challenges, league cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. Our player on the left had a mulligan to draw, so that's what that extra card draw was before the reveal of on the left, Gardevoir, versus on the right, Raging Bolt. Looks like our Gardevoir player on the left is going first. Budu in the active spot, just what they want so far. Next is Earthen Vessel, discarding a Psychic Energy to search the deck for two more Psychic Energies to put into the hand. This Gardevoir does like this Psychic Energy in the discard pile because the Gardevoir EX can accelerate it from there with its Psychic Embrace ability. But before that, we need to establish some Ralts to be able to evolve in the Gardevoir, and I don't see a way. Okay, there's a Nest Ball. So Nest Ball is played. That could search the deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. And I would probably grab a Ralts here, because you're a Gardevoir deck. That's how you get into Gardevoir, is with your Ralts. So you want to get that done as soon as possible, probably, before your opponent gets more established and developed to be able to chase your Ralts potentially. Our players looking through their deck, seeing what's in there as they're resolving this Nest Ball here. Were there no Ralts in deck? I'm going to look with them a little closer this time. And I don't think there was one in hand either. Yeah, there's at least one Ralts in deck. But they're actually going to go for the Pheasantipity EX now. We'll see how it plays out for them, as you can grab that with the Nest Ball here. That'll join the party. I guess it's a fair bet that your opponent will take a KO on their next turn. So you can establish the Fez now. You don't need a Ralts down right away or as quickly, because Gardevoir is technically a comeback deck. We'll see how it works out, though, as they attach a Psychic Energy to the bench Monkey Dory and pass with Budu in the active spot. Couldn't attack, can't attack on your turn one. So our player on the right starts their turn with the Nest Ball, an item card. To find a Squawkabilly EX, put it on the bench, and then play an Earthen Vessel, discarding a Fighting Energy to search the deck for two more basic energy, two Lightning here to put into the hand. The Raging Bolt deck also likes basic energy cards in a discard pile because that Professor Sada's Vitality supporter can accelerate them to Ancient Tagged Pokemon from the discard pile. It looks like our player is being a good sportsman, waiting for the opponent to get back to reveal. I took two Lightning Energy from this Earthen Vessel here before starting their next action of Ultra Ball, discarding Superior Energy Retrieval and Lightning Energy to search the deck for a Pokemon, Basic or Evolution. It'll be the backup Raging Bolt EX. Good to have two of them down since Professor Sada's Vitality can accelerate to two Ancient Tagged Pokemon. Want to get the most bang for your buck if you can. And it's okay, I guess, to discard the Superior Energy Retrieval if you're going to Squawk and Seize. That Squawkabilly EX ability. Energy attached to the active Lavencia Stadium put into play, and then Squawk and Seize can only be used on your first turn. When you do, discard your hand and draw 6 fresh new cards. Hunting for that Professor Sada's Vitality here, I'm sure. Or Crispin way to accelerate, but nope, the Professor came through. Pick 2 of your ancient tagged Pokemon in play and accelerate a basic energy from the discard pile to each of them, then draw 3 cards. That's how you get the Raging Bolts out of nowhere, currently swinging for 210, though they only have to do 30. It only has to do 30 to KO the 30 HP Budu. Play all the items now, since that Budu wasn't able to attack on its first turn in that Nest Ball League Hollow Nest Ball, to find a Iono's Tadbulb to put onto the bench here. I'm going to use that Iono's Belly Bolt to get more energy in play for this Raging Bolt. Is that how it works? I'll look it up if it becomes relevant as the baby Raging Bolt, non-EX Raging Bolt is put onto the bench there. And then Bellowing Thunder. The Raging Bolt has the attack Bellowing Thunder. You discard any number of basic energy from your Pokemon in play, and it does 70 times the amount of energy you discarded. Just one energy needed. Discard the KO. The Budew, as Monkey Dory, takes its place in the active spot. On the left-hand side, Darkness Energy gets attached to that Monkey Dory, and then flip the script. Pheasantipede EX draws 3 cards since there was a KO on their last turn. I probably would have held the energy there until at least after the flip the script to inform, your energy attachment per turn. But usually doesn't matter, I guess. We'll see how it works out because these players are playing and I'm just analyzing stuff in the professor's lab today. As Nest Ball is the next action on the left. Searching the deck for another basic. Will they find that Ralts this time? The answer is yes. And looks like they could have had this either way. Now that we see this next turn, a Ralts and a Fez down. The only difference is if you had the Ralts down that first turn, it's eligible for evolution this turn, where right now it's not. Pokemon has to be in play for at least a turn to be able to evolve. But Gardevoir seems to have more time in this post-rotation standard format. Any Curlia in hand, I'm curious, or Rare Candy Gardevoir. Either way, we've got a Monkey Dory attack. So Counter Catcher is live since the opponent has fewer prize cards remaining. When they do, that acts like a boss's orders, bringing up a benched Pokemon to the active in that Iono's Tadbulb. Then Monkey Dory will Mind Bend to KO it for the first prize card for a Gardevoir player. Monkey Dory going on the offensive. Raging Bolt stares it down on the right-hand side and play resumes there. Attaching a Power Glass to the active Raging Bolt, lightning energy to it. There is the KO on the Monkey Dory currently. 2 energy could be discarded from Raging Bolt side of the field for its attack to do 140 damage. It looks like we're seeing that now. Bellowing Thunder for KO, and then the Power Glass triggers. The Power Glass tool card, of course, says at the end of your turn, after you attack, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot, you may attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to it. Nice way to keep energy in play for this Raging Bolt deck that likes to discard it. So long as the Gardevoir deck can't KO on this turn, Drifloon floats into the active spot on the left and play resumes there with a first thing, Rare Candy, allowing the Ralts to evolve directly into the Gardevoir EX. Psychic Embrace is online now. Professor's Research discards the hand. Most importantly, some more Psychic Energy to be accelerated with Psychic Embrace and drawing 7 fresh new cards. Lots of energy in play in hand here for our Gardevoir player. There is a Nest Ball, so that can find a better attacker if desired. Uh-oh. As they play a Rare Candy, or excuse me, a Earthen Vessel, discarding another Psychic Energy to search deck 4. More Psychic Energy, I'm sure. 2 more of them hit the hand here off of this Vessel. You could even retreat the Drifloon to get another, but I think there's plenty of Psychic Energy in the discard pile for our Gardevoir player to do what they want. 3 or 4 in there. We'll see how they navigate this turn, and they need to get a KO on the active Raging Bolt. Pheasantipede EX was not used this turn yet, so that'll be used now. Flip the script to draw 3 cards since the opponent took a KO on their last turn. Get more decisions in the hand, more resources. They've got an Iono too if they want to disrupt the opponent, but not before a Night Stretcher to get a resource back from the discard pile. They're going to get a Budew back from the discard pile with the Night Stretcher this time. Put it in the hand. I don't think there's a rush to get this Budew back. Maybe the Night Stretcher could have been saved. for future turn, because you definitely want to attack with something that's going to KO this Raging Bolt, not the Budu right now. Either way, the player goes for it. And they've got a Nest Ball here. If they want to play it to find a better attacker, let's see, they could find the Mew EX. They could go for that Clefairy now if they wanted to as well. We'll talk about the Clefairy later since the Mew was grabbed though. Energy attached to the active so that way it can retreat into this Mew. And are we going for genome hacking? Give the Raging Bolt a taste of their own medicine. As Gardevoir EX is now using Psychic Embrace to accelerate psychic energy from the discard pile to psychic Pokemon in play, this time to the active Mew. 2 damage counters taken for each energy accelerated this way. That's why we see the 6 on the Mew with the die there. Then 2 more energy accelerated from the discard pile to the bench Drifloon. It'll take 4 damage counters as well, thanks to the Psychic Embrace. And then Mew EX has the genome hacking attack. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attack and use it as this attack. So it's going to copy Bellowing Thunder, discard enough basic energy from Mew's side of the field to take the KO on the opposing Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt on the right stomps into the active spot and play resumes there. Can they respond and KO this Mew for 2 more prize cards? Taking out the bench Gardevoir or Fez are just fine too. Probably the Gardevoir would be the best thing to KO, but you'll be happy to take 2 prize cards if you can. So Earthen Vessel first, discarding a Lightning Energy to search the deck for up to 2 basic energy cards to put into the hand. Lightning and Fighting added to the hand here off of this Vessel. But they're going to need that Professor Sada's Vitality or a way to accelerate energy since Raging Bolt's attack costs 2 energy. Uh-oh. Lightning energy attached to the bench Squawkabilly. Basic golden switch into that Squawkabilly. Squawkabilly EX is now active, and we are going for that motivate attack. Never a position you want to be in, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. Not before Lavencia to get back 2 lightning energy from the discard pile into the hand with that stadium. Ugh. And then motivate 20 damage, and you can accelerate 2 basic energy from your discard pile to a bench Pokemon. 2 energy go onto that Raging Bolt, and play resumes over on Mew, the tank side on the left. Oh my goodness, here we go. All right, Clefairy EX put onto the bench here for our Gardevoir player on the left. The Clefairy EX, if you didn't know, has the Fairy Zone ability. The weakness of each of your opponent's Dragon-type Pokemon in play is now Psychic. ×2 weakness will be applied from all Psychic attackers, thanks to that Clefairy EX and its Fairy Zone. Lily's Clefairy. Don't forget about Lily. Combine that with the boss's orders to bring up the opponent's biggest threat from the bench, that Raging Bolt that was just powered up, moves to the active spot. Boss's orders, of course. No KO taken, so no Fez flip the script can be used. Monkey Dory established onto the bench. Once again, Darkness Energy attached to it. Adrenabrain is live now, allowing Monkey Dory to move 3 damage counters from one Pokemon on their side of the field to one of your opponent's Pokemon. 3 onto the active Raging Bolt. Mew EX free retreats into the Drifloon. Yeah, even with that, I don't even think Drifloon needed with the Fairy Zone to have 3 damage counters on the opponent's active to take the KO. But we'll calculate here when it becomes relevant. Either way, you're attacking and taking a KO with the 1 prizer. So that's super good. Energy attached from hand to the active Drifloon. Energy accelerated from the discard pile. Wow, the numbers are just working out for our players here with that energy attachment as they go up to 6 damage counters on there with just a single Psychic Embrace on that Drifloon. Drifloon's Balloon Blast attack does 30 times the amount of damage counters on it. So 30 times 6, 180 times 2. It's way more than 240, right? Thanks to the Liz Clefairy Fairy Zone and that Raging Bolt now having a psychic weakness. So that 3 damage counters probably could have been put somewhere on the bench to get max value from it, but I don't think it matters too much here in this situation as Drifloon Balloon blasts and knocks out the Raging Bolt thanks to the Liz Clefairy. Going down to one prize card on the left, Squawkabilly EX moves to the active spot on the right. 4 prize cards remaining. Can they take a? They can't. They got a KO. They currently have a KO at least. So Super Rod will shuffle back 3 Pokemon from the discard pile into the deck this time. Squawkabilly can do 20 damage with Motivate. That does KO the Drifloon for 1 prize. Then the Gardevoir player has just 1 prize card to take to win the game. We're red and beeping over here on the right-hand side. Let's see what they could piece together here and navigate this tough situation. Attaching a Lightning Energy to the bench, Raging Bolt, and then, yep, just to motivate. Taking a KO and accelerating some energy to the bench. Gardevoir EX moves into the active spot, and that's just game there. I guess I didn't see that earlier. Gardevoir EX moves to the active spot. Psychic embraces energy onto itself to power up its attack. It swings for 190 damage with Miracle Force to KO the 160 HP Squawkabilly EX for the win in round 2. What do you think of this video in the commentary? Please leave feedback in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you to our players for letting their game be captured so we can all learn and enjoy. And I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.